Good morning, everybody. It is still morning at the time of live streaming. Apologies for clearing my throat live on air, but I didn't really have much time to change that. This is the earliest deadline stream we've done. We have done there was an early deadline stream. I think one of the deadlines this season was like 1:30. It must have been around Christmas, I think, maybe Boxing Day or the game week after. But yeah, this is definitely the earliest one. Obviously, for anyone watching, don't be panicking about the deadline. At the time of starting this stream, it is still 7 hours away. 7 hours feels like ages in FPL terms. Like, who knows what's going to happen in the press conferences with transfers and all that good stuff. But there's still, 7 hours to go, as long as my maths is right. My time's good. But yes, I've joined the social. I will be joining the social media blackout. Look, I mean, without going into it too much, I mean, you could say that posting exactly the same content but just doing it earlier than 3 o'clock is no different, right? I mean, I wouldn't. Usually I'd be doing this deadline stream at 4:30, 5:30. But I made the decision to do it. I mean, most of the clubs and the Premier League, I think they're not posting to YouTube. Some of them said that. But most of the boycott seems to be around Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So arguably, I didn't need to do this, but I made the decision to do it. And obviously, I'm going through with that because I think it is quite important as well. So, sorry, when I'm saying all this, I'm just getting the live chat up properly so I can see it. So, yeah, obviously, there's still a few hours to go to the deadline. I don't think a huge amount is going to change. I mean, there would have to be a massive injury in the press conferences that we don't know about. And usually you start to hear rumours about that anyway. So I'm doing it early. All the content's basically going to be the same this week now. And yeah, we're gonna talk about anything you want for FPL, right? As we normally would, apart from there's probably going to be a little bit less panic because it's still 7 hours away. Here is my team for this week. So I've not made my transfers. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait. No, the deadline stream is not going to be 7 hours long. No way. But look, hopefully this will still be useful for anyone that's watching it close to the deadline. Obviously, there are going to be some press conferences that happen while we're live. There's going to be some that happen afterwards. But hopefully there's no major news. Obviously, we're still waiting for the bloody fixtures to whatever way they fall. I mean, everybody, like I was watching James on Planet FPL yesterday. He did his deadline stream a bit earlier. And he was saying he's convinced it's going to be double 35, blank 36. Ben seems to think there's about a 70% chance that he's favouring that as well. So I think that's likely what's going to happen. And that's how I'm going to make my transfer move. I'm probably going to do Rudiger to Dallas, like I said. And just go from there. Your boy Kim, Werner, Bamford, Kane, pick 2 to play. Well, I mean, Kane has to play. I mean, if you've got Werner, you play him, right? I think with Rafinha out, I would take a chance on benching Bamford. Obviously, Werner might not start because he did start against Real Madrid, and I'm sure he's going to start the second game against Real Madrid too. So if you want to play absolutely safe, go Bamford and Kane. But I'd be tempted with Kane and Werner, to be honest. FPL definitely announcing it after the deadline, possibly. Yeah, look, okay, not everyone's going to agree with the boycott. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine, and I'm gonna join the community. I agree. Racial abuse is not just going to stop, right? Because the football community, or abuse in general, racial abuse, is obviously not just going to stop because for 4 days people aren't posting about football on social media channels, right? No one thinks it's going to stop, but it's trying to show a message to the social media companies. That's all there is to it. So yeah, that is the reason. Obviously, you know, you don't have to have the same opinion. You can be on Twitter, you can be on YouTube all weekend if you want. I won't think differently of anybody that decides to go against it. I've just made the decision to do it. It's, to be honest, as soon as I saw it was happening last Saturday, I said I was going to do it. I hadn't really thought about YouTube at the time, but yeah, I decided to do YouTube as well. Oh, chat's frozen. Hang on. Because I don't want to spend the whole stream saying why I'm going early, and obviously, you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it. You can be on Twitter, you can be on YouTube, you can be on Twitch or wherever it might be. I'm not calling you out on that, and I'm not saying anything about it. If you want to know what the boycott is, just go and look on the Premier League Twitter site. We could spend the whole stream talking about this, but I think we're just going to stick with the FPL stuff, right? Play 2, Jota, Dawson, Cody. I mean, I'd probably play Jota. I know a lot of people are thinking about benching him, but I'd probably just play him. He's an attacker. Dawson, Cody, Holding. I just don't trust West Ham, even though I'm playing Dawson. Arsenal are going to rotate a bit, aren't they? I think Newcastle will score. I'll go Cody. Sorry. I mean, in a normal world, I'd probably say Dawson, but after Wood scored a hat trick and Burnley put 4 past Wolves, I'm a little bit worried about it now. Bruno and Holding for Zaha and Shaw, probably bench boost in Game Week 37. To be completely honest, I've not even thought about bench boost, so I'll take your word for it. That's a good decision with your team, your bench. To be honest, I've said this all week, right? And I've said it before the Man United match last night. I would hold Bruno personally, because he could have a double. It's a bit like the Kane to Vardy thing last week, right? A lot of people did Kane to Vardy, then as soon as it didn't work out, they wanted Kane back. Well, what's going to happen next week if Fernandes has a double? How will you feel about it then? And if the answer is I won't care, then do it. If it's that I'll care, I wouldn't do it. But the bench boost question, I can't really help because I don't know what the bench looks like. But if you've worked it out that this is the move to get a good bench boost and it works for the double potentially, then go for it. Who do I swap Stones with 7.2 million in the bank? I mean, he's definitely not playing, is he? Because he's suspended. There's loads of options. You can't obviously get to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but you could go for Robertson if you wanted to back Liverpool. I know it's not necessarily the best time to bring them in. Otherwise, you're kind of open with defence, honestly, because Chelsea, Alonso, fine this week, but then going forward, maybe not. Shaw could have a double, but then he has a blank. I think Shaw and Castagna for the double are probably, or maybe Luca Dean. They're the three I would kind of look at if you don't want to stretch to Robertson. Pin my next comment for new. Do you know what? Actually, I'll just put a pin comment. Early deadline stream due to social media boycott started at 3 p.m. Answering questions as normal for now. There we go. That's a good idea, though, Corey. Good idea. I'll pin it. No, the deadline's not early. Okay, let me just add. Can I edit that? Oh, Christ, I can't edit it. Hang on. I've removed my own message and it's still pinned. No, is it? The deadline is at 6:30 p.m. Don't panic. There you go. Right. Great idea, Corey. Great idea. Do I play Kane, Nando, and Bamford all up top, or do I put Wan-Bissaka, Højbjerg? You just play them all. You play all your attackers, I think. Maitland-Niles Holding so far. Pick one. West Brom, Wolves. Is it Wolves? No. Yeah, West Brom, Wolves, isn't it? I'll probably say so foul. There's some horrible. There's so many cheap defenders. I just don't like at the moment. I'm the same with my team, by the way. I'm going to swap Rudiger to Dallas. I'm not quite sure about it, but I'm probably going to do it. Do I think Cavani's a hold this week or will he be benched again? I think he's going to be benched again, to be honest. Solskjaer said, he can't start more than. He can't play 3 games in a row or whatever. Now, he could play Liverpool and then get benched against Roma now that we've got such a lead. So it's possible that he plays, but Greenwood's going to come in. Rashford always plays. And Pogba surely is going to start on the left again because he's been so good. So Pogba, Rashford, Greenwood, front 3 is not out of the question, I don't think, against Liverpool. The thing with Cavani is he's basically going to be a problem for you. Even if you keep him for Liverpool, he's not going to start both games in the double, you would think. So depending on your transfer strategy, who else you want to bring in, I would think probably about selling him, to be honest. I am trying to keep an eye out on the on any news we get. I mean, it'd Be mental if the fixtures get announced while we're live. Okay. Do I think Kane would start? Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't. Congrats for 150k subs for this. I don't think it would change much, but yeah, look, I agree. It's not like things are. As I've said, things aren't going to change overnight. It's not going to stop people who are posting. The thing is, I don't think anyone necessarily thinks they could fully stop people thinking like they do. But it's like I said, to someone in the comment section the other day, who mentioned censorship. Right? It's not. This is not censorship. Someone getting racially abused, people shouldn't be allowed to say that, right? And if you think that's censorship, that's fine. But Twitter is a private platform, essentially, where you have to abide with the terms and conditions. The free speech argument is the worst argument ever. No one is stopping you going out in the street and saying what you want. You just can't come on Twitter or Instagram, wherever it is, and post it. And how many things would people say to people in real life? Hardly anything, right? So yeah, I know you're not saying it doesn't matter, but I just, yeah, there you go. So you're not going to be on Twitter for the weekend? No. In fact, I might just turn my phone off completely. Who knows? One thing I did think about doing was a match of the day reaction stream on Tuesday morning, because I'm going to have so much content to post after Tuesday that I don't really want to leave it to the evening, where I don't check my FPL team for the whole weekend and just watch match of the day. Obviously, skip through all the analysis. I just wonder if it would be too long, because it would be a live stream, but I wouldn't be able to interact with the chat, so I don't think it would necessarily work. But I did think about doing that. Who to play out of Trent and Shaw and Jota and Greenwood? I mean, Greenwood. The thing is, out of Trent and Shaw, I think you play Trent. To be honest, I mean, Shaw's attacking, it is at home. If I had the choice, I would probably play Trent. But then you want to play Jota as well, because if you play Greenwood and Trent, you're kind of hedging your bets a bit. It depends. If you want to play for the high ceiling, I would pick two, and I would maybe, because I know Greenwood's going to start, I would go Greenwood and Shaw. But out of Jota and Greenwood, I'd play Greenwood, and out of Trent and Shaw, I'd play Trent. And I know that won't sound like it makes sense, but there we go. We have no news about the doubles and blanks yet. Trust me, it'll be all over everywhere once we do. Lingard versus Traore / Dallas. Lingard versus Traore. Lingard. Dallas versus Luka Dean. Pick two to play. Dallas versus... So Brighton away and Everton... Villa at home. I'd probably play Dallas, I think. I think Leeds have looked alright. Start Vidra or Jota. West Ham have many defenders out. Sounds like you've made your case there. The thing is, will Vidra even start? Isn't Barnesy back now? I don't know if he's fully fit, though. Barnes isn't flagged anymore. So Vidra's time is running out. I mean, Vidra versus Jota. I mean, Vidra's got the better fixture, yeah. Could go for it one more time. Holding to Dallas to be able to bench Rudiger. I mean, you're taking out a double game week player in Holding. He doesn't have the greatest double, to be fair. And obviously, it's not necessarily going to happen, but hopefully it will. Dallas is good, but I wouldn't be... If you're going to keep Rudiger, I wouldn't be actively looking to bench him, to be honest with you. If you've only got one free transfer, I'd potentially just keep it. And just play Rudiger if he doesn't play. Holding comes on. It seems fine to me. I know Dallas has gone up in price, but I don't think he's going to suddenly go up like 0.5 million or anything. Bench Maddison and play Dallas. I would just play Maddison. Or play Maddison, bench one. Yeah, I would bench one. The thing is, Maddison fitness and he's got a good fixture. He's going to start. So out of Rudiger, Shaw, Trent, and Dallas, I'd probably bench one of Rudiger or Dallas. Probably Dallas. I wouldn't particularly like it. There's some hard benching decisions this week. Post FPL, make a website about it. I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean make a website and post FPL stuff on it? I don't think I think free speech is a bad argument. People get abused like racially or because of discrimination, and people always say, "Yeah, but what about free speech?" Rubbish. You put those two people. You put the two people in the room, the one that's being racially abused, and the one sending the abuse. Would they still say it? No, they're doing it because they're anonymous. So free speech is just a rubbish. In my opinion, free speech is a rubbish argument about the whole thing. Luca Dean to Trent. If I had Luca Dean, I'd probably just keep him, to be honest. Look, I don't trust Everton defence, but they got an okay fixture, then a double, and then a good fixture, and then an okay fixture against Wolves. Mount to Foden for a punt. I don't think so personally. I think I don't think Foden's going to start, to be honest. So I just keep Mount. Obviously, Mount played Champions League, but I think he'll probably start. Mount starts so many games. Yeah, exactly. It's not free speech, it's hate speech. There you go. That sums it up well. Yeah, I when I used to work on the FIFA forums, we used to always get that. It's free speech. And I used to always reply, you are free to go outside and go and say to people whatever you want. You're not free to come on this forum and say what you want. There's terms and conditions. It's the same with Twitter. It's the same with Instagram. It's the same with Facebook. Same with YouTube. You don't have free speech on the internet. On certain platforms, you have to abide by their terms and conditions. No one is taking away your right to go out and say what you want. The difference is you won't say it to someone's face. That is the problem. Venkatesh, how's it going? Can I take I know it's just phrasing, but can I take? Of course you can. Bring Kane, Pereira for Watkins, Bruno. I badly want Kane, but Bruno's back in form too. Honestly, with Fernandes, right? I wouldn't let Here's the thing, because so many people are going to be wondering what to do about Fernandes now after last night. Here's the thing: did anybody, or did you, or anyone else that's thinking about getting rid of Fernandes, not know he was capable of doing what he did last night? Of course not. You knew he could do that. So if you were thinking about getting rid of him, what has changed? He's got 4 returns in a match that didn't matter for FPL against a fairly weak team, to be honest, in Roma. I didn't think that selling Bruno was a good idea anyway, but obviously that's beside the point. I wouldn't let last night change my decision. But Kane and Pereira, I mean, Kane's not going to double in 35 and Bruno might. I would be tempted to stick with Watkins and Bruno. Both of those players could get an extra fixture next week. I'll be tempted to hold. But I try not to let last night sway. Like, he took a penalty, scored a nice goal, got a couple of assists. We know he can do that on his day. Like, surely no one just, I don't know what I'm trying to say now. The whole form thing, ignore it. He hasn't just suddenly come back into form. He just had a good game. He's been playing well anyway. He just hasn't got the FPL points to go with it. Any chances Leno's rested? I mean, there's a chance, I guess, but I can't imagine Ryan's going to play too many games. The thing is, Leno has been poor. There is a chance because it's happened, but I don't think it's a huge chance. Doing Fofana to Luca Dean, free hitting 35, fair enough. Then Leno to Melier, Areola for decent end of season. Never seen any line of duty worth a binge. I definitely think line of duty is worth a binge. Yes, I like that plan as well. Obviously, in 36, Leno to Melier, Leno out. You might not still need to do, but Leno to Melier, if you want to still do it, it looks good. I think line of duty is good. Yeah, I started watching it quite a while ago now. Last one of this series. I will say, I think it's the kind of series where it needs to know when to stop. And I think if it's not this season, it has to be next season where it stops, because there's been, well, I won't say much more than that. But I do think if it keeps going for like 2 or 3 more seasons, it's going to get to the point where it didn't cut off in time. I know it's not really the same, but I used to love 24, and they just did too many of them. To the point where they carried on doing it even when Keith Sutherland wasn't in it, and they did too many. And I know some people think it's trash and it's whatever. I really liked it. I thought it was great at the time, but it went on too long. And I think line of duty is potentially getting there a bit. Not that it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. Before anyone lynches me in the comments, I love it. In fact, not having to stream on Sunday is probably a good thing. I get to watch line of duty live. But I think one more series and then it should be done. get everything sewn up, etc. All the storylines. But I won't say any more than that. Please reply, Luka Dean or Saka. To play, I would always play Saka, but obviously there is some worry about resting and stuff. I mean, Arsenal now, I was saying about don't let a game change your mind on picks, but aside from form, obviously Man United now 6-2 up. They could rest players, whereas what am I trying to say? Whereas Arsenal now, they've got to win. They've got to go and win that game. Or they've got to go and score goals, whatever. And they might even be more prone to rest now. So I am a little bit worried about... I would be a bit worried about Arsenal players. So I would be tempted by Saka, but you could just go for Luka Dean. I'm rewatching 24 at the moment. I'm on season 6. I don't know. I think it's one of those shows I don't want to rewatch because I think I'll realise it was actually not as good as I thought. But I did love it at the time. 5 minutes behind, but it's freedom of speech, not free of the consequences of your speech. Yeah, exactly. Maddison or Lingard I think, well, I'd want this week, I would probably start Maddison. For the double, I'd want Maddison. For 36 to 38, I would want Lingard. Dave Lister. Loughton to Rudiger. I don't think now's the time to be buying Chelsea defenders, personally. I just think there's a chance that some of them get rested this week. They've got a fairly tough double, then a fairly tough run of fixtures. Look, I think Chelsea's such a good defence. They could get clean sheets in both games in the double. We saw that in the last one. They could get clean sheets against Leicester and Arsenal, but I just don't know if now is the time to be jumping on. Ben, how's it going? My options are Bruno out for Kane, or just go without Kane and play Vardy and Bruno. I think I would just go without. I don't like it though. I got to be honest, I don't know what the right answer is. I've got Kane, so it's easy for me, and I've gone without Bruno. Like for this week, Kane is miles better than Bruno. Like miles better as an option. But next week in 35, things change. I think if you think there's a genuine chance Fernandes gets rested for Villa, which I'm still kind of on the fence about, then you could just get Kane in because then they've got the same amount of fixtures, you know? Do I think free hit is better next week than the blank game week? That is fully team dependent. Now, if you've got like 7 or 8 players already for the double, then you can just bring in a couple more if you want and then free hit the blanks out in 36. If you've got... if you're like me, you've only got 3, which is like Rudiger, Vardy and Iheanacho, and I'm probably going to sell Rudiger, then I've only got 2 blank players, so I might as well free hit in 35. So it depends. It does depend. Son or Bale in for Jota. For me, Son is the safer pick, the one that you know is going to get 90 minutes every single week. Bale is a potential explosive differential, very low owned that people will be put off bringing in. If he starts every game, could he match or beat Son? Yes. Is he guaranteed to start every game? I don't think so. I think I've spoke to Gianni on Fantasy Football Scout video. He's quite confident that he will play every game. And I think he's probably right to a certain extent. I don't know about every game, but I think Ryan Mason likes him. So if you're really down in the ranks, you really want to take a punt, Bale's the one. If not, it's definitely Son. Bamford to Richarlison and Bamford to offline. Okay, let's see if this comes back. That was so weird. My internet just died and now it's come back. I'm just going to start blocking people, by the way, who just put loads of emojis. It's just annoying. Hopefully we're back now. It's just said I was offline. So all of a sudden it just went. Anyway. Maybe it wasn't for you guys. Anyway, Bamford to Richarlison and Bruno to Bale, or Bamford to Kane and Bruno to Sigurdsson. 50 points behind everyone else is Bruno. Fair enough. So basically, you get Richarlison and Bale or Kane and Sigurdsson. I'd probably go Kane and Sigurdsson. I love Harry Kane. The thing is I go Kane and Sigurdsson, I think. What is going on? Loving the boycott actions, free speech, definitely the one. Thank you. Bench one from Trent, Shaw, Greenwood, similar. Yeah, I would play Greenwood, and then Shaw and Trent is difficult. Shaw has been so attacking. You could play the ceiling and just hope that Man United get the clean sheet. But I think if I ever had the choice between Trent and Shaw, I'd always play Trent over him. But definitely Greenwood. Got Sice and Cody, can only start one. Your pick. I'd probably just start Cody, I think. Martinez, Wan-Bissaka, 2 for Johnson, no chips, 10 points to catch. Suggestions. To catch or rank mini league players. Really quickly, Martinez is fine. Strike's fine. Salah, Jota, Bruno, Song. You got 2 free transfers. I've seen a few teams like this. No chips, so you need your double game week players preferably. Oh my god, I ain't got a clue. I've got to be honest, I haven't got a clue. You don't really want to get rid of any of your Spurs players, or Watkins or Iheanacho. Lingard's not someone you really want to sell right now. I don't know how much money you've got, but you could look at changing Holding maybe just to use a transfer, but then he's doubling in 35. 10 points is nothing, by the way, so don't be panicking about that. You can easily make that up in 1 week. So I gotta be honest, it's tricky. I don't know who your second goalkeeper is, but maybe shift Holding, but then who knows how much money you got. Most of your players I'd want to keep, to be honest. The only thing that's frustrating for you is you've got 2 free transfers. I get it, you don't know what to do with it. I don't know how much money you got left, but yeah, Holding maybe, but I don't even like that move, to be honest with you. You got a really good team. Really good team for this week and really good team for the doubles, potentially. 1 free transfer. Cody to Dallas. Cody to Dallas. Yeah, you could do that. If you've got no chips, I would potentially hold. Start holding on Jota. How many double game weeks is enough with no free hit? I've actually recorded a video just in case the game week 35 double and then the 36 blank happens. I would say start off with your captain. Make sure you've got the captain. Then have a look at 2 or 3 other players you think could be captains, and then maybe see if you've got them as well. And then maybe a few others, 6 or 7 possibly as the max if you've got no free hit. I wouldn't be worrying about 11 because you'll have massive problems in 36. Freedom of speech is a fundamental human right. Exactly. You can go out and say whatever you want. You are not free to come on Twitter and spout hate. So again, freedom of speech. Chris, you can go outside, you can say what you want. You come here and say something that I don't like or YouTube doesn't like, then I just remove it. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you can come on this stream or go on YouTube or go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Twitch and say what you like. It means you can go outside and say what you like. I hope you're well. Big 6-2 win, and it will be an interesting final. I'm still not quite there yet, in terms of thinking about the final, but it should be pretty good, right? Best 3 to play this week: Trent, Dallas, Holding, Cody, or Rudiger. I would probably play Trent. I would definitely play Trent, Rudiger, and probably Dallas. Those 5, I would say. No. Which 4th, 5th defender for max 4% have Dawson and Rudiger? God, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of these questions. It's a really tricky situation these next few weeks. How much did you say? I've lost the question now. It was 4.7 or something, wasn't it? Dawson and Rudiger, 4th, 5th defender. Holding, as long as he keeps his place, is looking pretty decent. You've already got Dawson. I can't remember who the other player was now. It's tricky, to be honest. I'd maybe look at Holding. Otherwise, 4.7, so you can't even get Holgate or Coleman. Maybe Konza. Konza has a double and doesn't blank. Deadline stream is early because of the football boycott of social media, basically. Too early to justify a hit being a -2 for the doubles. No, I don't think so. But you've also got to think about the blanks as well. Adrian, how's it going? Replacement for Mendy. So to be fair, and I've said this already, a lot of people pointed out to me in the video I did the other day when I said that Martinez was probably the best, that Mellier's also got really good fixtures, so you could look at him. Obviously the Spurs game's not great, but the other 4 are not bad, so I'd probably look at him, to be honest. I think Pickford potentially has a double, no blank, and I don't think Olsen's played for a while now, although I could be wrong on that. Yeah, Pickford missed 2 games, but I think he was injured, right? So Pickford hasn't missed a game while not being injured for a while. So he could be safe. You get a double and no blank with Pickford. Don't laugh at me. Otherwise, I'd probably just go Meslier. Yeah, I think I definitely could have answered that goalkeeper question better on the game preview. I wasn't quite happy with that, and a lot of people in the comments had really good answers. See it's dream. No such thing as freedom of speech, hence live. Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing there. You can come on this stream and say what you want, and I'm completely free to block you from ever commenting on the channel again. It's beautiful. Play one of Cody, Jota, or Bamford. One Bamford. I think possibly Jota if he had a better fixture, if I knew he was definitely going to start. But I'll say Bamford. Hopefully they can do okay without Rafinha. Should I get rid of Cancelo and Gundogan? So I think Cancelo's got a chance of starting. Gundogan I'm just not confident of at all. So I'd think about it. Yeah, the only thing with Man City is they've got 3 really good fixtures to end the season. But you can always bring them back. Depends on the rest of your team, of course. If you can bench them, then fine. But you could start thinking about getting rid of Man City for sure. I think there's a chance Cancelo starts. I don't know will he start the second leg? Possibly. Is Forster still a starter? Forster is a bit like I don't know who the good example is, but he will probably start most games, but he is also liable to miss one every now and again, as we've seen recently. So I can't sit here and tell you he's definitely going to start or not, to be honest. My assumption is he probably will, but who knows? I am listening to Coldplay, yeah. I don't know. I'm so lazy when it comes to like music for the show. I just see it. It's high up on the playlist for whatever reason. I'll switch it to Red Hot Chili Peppers. There we go. Just for something a bit different for me is. Thoughts on my team? Martinez, Dallas, Trossard. Always the Brighton boys, Corey. Always. You're benching Fernandes, Jota, and Trent. Big call that. To be honest, the team looks good though. I mean, I don't know if I would play Dallas, Castagna, Rudiger, and Veltman and bench Bruno. I'd probably bench. For me, I'd bench one of the defenders, but I know how you like to play the game. You probably wouldn't do it. Would I consider Jota to Bowen? Not for my team, no, because our free hit Jota out in 35, and then 36 to 38, he has great fixtures. So I'm not interested in selling Jota at all, to be honest with you. How confident am I over double game week 35? To be honest, I ain't got a clue what the likelihood of it is, but there's lots of people that do know this stuff. That are kind of convinced it's the most likely course of action, but who knows, right? You could do a Let's Talk Line of Duty channel. No, like I'm not like people get so involved with it and they're so clever with looking at all the little clues and stuff. I never spot that stuff, to be honest. I still enjoy it though. You're 60k overall rate, aiming for 10k. Still possible, yeah. Cliffs of Moher worth a road trip from the north. It's decent there, yeah. I've been there once. Yeah. I guess if you're down here anyway, why not? EA Andy. EA_Andy. Play Meslier or Martinez. I feel like I trust Leeds more at the moment, so I'd probably say Meslier. Freedom of speech exists to a large extent in the UK and shouldn't be prohibited. Again, you go out if you're in the UK, walk outside your door now and go and shout abuse at the nearest person you see. Go for it. Don't actually do that, by the way. Looking forward to next season. Can you do a few draft league strategy videos? I don't really play draft. The problem is draft is a keyword that gets used a lot in pre-season, and it's not for draft. So if I started doing draft stuff, they would think it's normal FPL. It's probably not, to be honest. Havertz or Son? Son. I think. By the way, I think Havertz will probably start, but I think Son is just the safer bet all round. Greenwood in for Rafinha for a hit. I will have to play Jota or Cody this week otherwise. I would just play Jota. Also planning to go Son to Bruno next week. I'd probably just play Jota if it was me rather than take a hit. But it's just me. That is just me. Thoughts on Sterling for a 1 week punt? As 1 week punts go, I think Sterling's right up there. Sterling, Jesus, Torres, I expect them all to start. Havertz as well, as we just spoke about for Chelsea, could be an option. But yeah, you're ignoring us. I mean, I feel like I've been chatting for nearly 40 minutes, so I don't think I've been ignoring anyone. I mean, if you mean not answering every single question, you're right. Yeah, there's about 2,000 people watching. It's alright if you can ban, but they just make a new account and back to where it was. Yeah, no, I agree. I think being able to post anonymously is a big problem. Whether that's an easy fix, probably isn't, but it would be a good start for the company to start thinking about it. Play Luka Dean or Jota. I would probably play Jota, I think. I mean, the thing with Luka Dean is you know he's going to start. With Jota, you don't know that, so you could just go Luka Dean, but if it was me, I know I would probably start Jota. Do I regret the Vardy transfer? Not at all. 3 games. The 3 games, and I was only supposed to get him for 2 of them. I only got him for the 3rd one because of De Bruyne missing out. And he's got 2 returns. I mean, he outscored Iheanacho 2 weeks ago. I'm well happy with the Jota move, but Bruno's done nothing since. So yeah, I don't regret it at all. I think a lot of people are looking to do Vardy and Kane. I don't have that dilemma. I have both. So I'm genuinely more than happy about that move. Get him for the double, which I'll free hit anyway, I suppose. And get rid of him in 36. So I'm well happy. Rudiger bench 2. Rudiger, Reguilon. Well, you can't bench Reguilon against Sheffield United. Come on. I would bench Holding and Cody or Dawson. Possibly Dawson. Just play Rudiger, Reguilon, Cody. After Rudiger and Reguilon, it gets a little bit difficult to choose who to bench out of those 3, to be honest. If you've got a gut feeling, go for it. Saka, Lacazette, Stones to Iheanacho, Lingard, Dallas -4. It's a nice -4 to me. I mean, Stones isn't going to play. Lacazette, possibly. Saka, who knows? Iheanacho, Lingard, Dallas. I mean, they feel like good long-term picks. Obviously, Saka and Lacazette probably will have a double in 35. It's worth considering. But yeah. The annoying thing is, I did update my rank. Oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I changed that. I'll change it now. I was doing that before the stream. Maybe I did it somewhere else by accident. Do you know what? I don't know. Maybe I just got distracted halfway through doing it. Maybe I just wanted to cling on to that 2,200 rank. There you go, 2,858. Can you quickly scan number 1 ranks FPL history? Well, you just go onto View Gameweek history and then you can see it. No updates on the doubles yet, I'm afraid. Nope. Got a good feeling for Iheanacho captain, as you should. One of the best options this week. David, I'm doing well. Hope you are too. Doing well on this early deadline stream. Obviously, we'll be back to normal next week and for the rest of the season. Last day of the season should be good, by the way. It's going to be some long streams. Danny, did I miss your super chat? You sure? I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, I know you're always in it, so I probably did if you're saying I did. Jeez, that must have been right back up. Oh, sorry. Play Martinez or Pope. So Everton or West Ham. I'd probably just go Martinez. I don't think either defence is that great right now. Probably Martinez. In hindsight, would you have done anything differently when 600 rank? I mean, I don't know how many massive mistakes I made, really. I mean, I sold Bruno, that worked out. Elsewhere, like Lingard smashed it. I don't even know right now, without going to have a look into it in more detail, what I really missed, to be honest. But obviously, yeah, I must have made some mistakes. Don't know what they were, though. I mean, Iheanacho I wasn't on quite as early as everyone else. Lingard I definitely wasn't. I guess they were big misses. I mean, obviously, in hindsight, I would have bought them both in, right? At the start of their run. There will be a team news video, yeah. Time to sell Bruno. I think the time to sell him was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think now I would keep. Start 3, Dallas, Cody, Holding, so far Dallas. Dallas again. Well, I'd play Dallas because you got him twice. And then probably Cody and Sofal. I can start 4 and bench Jota. No, I'd play Jota. Conzor or James? I'm worried of James not starting. I think there's a chance he will, to be honest. I meant his past seasons. Yeah, I know. I'm saying you can go, if you click view game week history, it shows his past seasons at the bottom if you want to have a look at them. Jota, Saka, Soyuncu, Cresswell, Sturridge, and Bamford need to start 3 and bench 3. I would play all the attackers. So Jota, Saka, Bamford. Jota out for Maddison again. I like Jota after this week. To be honest, I probably wouldn't do it. Yeah, one thing to remember is you don't gain any extra fixtures with Maddison. Obviously, you could transfer him straight back out, but then you've got to use another transfer. So you bring Maddison in, he gets 2 in 35, but none in 36. So he still has 2 over 2 game weeks. So him and Jota have the same amount of fixtures. So I would be tempted to hold Jota. But I do think Maddison's next 2 games are pretty good. Who is a good Stones replacement now? 3.1 in the bank. I get Trent. If you can afford Trent, I would just get Trent if you haven't got him. Again, not necessarily the best week to bring him in, but long term I would. Your last minute Alonso transfer for -8. Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, although that actually worked out in the end. I think I'm actually up points because of that. Maybe like 1 or 2 because he blocked Dawson and got 6 points last week. So I think it actually worked out. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still a really bad transfer and it was a mistake, but I think it actually worked out. And I would, again, just to reiterate for the minute, I wouldn't have got Dallas's points anyway. So obviously I'm now having to pay more for Dallas, but hopefully that won't affect me too much. Yeah, of course you could transfer Maddison out, but then you're using 2 transfers for 1 extra fixture, 8 points. Danny, how's it going? Here's another one for you. Play 3. Trent, Rudiger, and Dallas. I feel like we've had that one already. Not necessarily from you, I know, but a lot of people obviously got similar defences this week. Like for example, this week transferring out Rudiger is potentially a mistake, but I'm just gambling a little bit and hoping for the best. Mohammed, how's it going? Rafinha out for Lingard. If you've got the money to do it, yeah, I don't think that's a bad transfer. For me, I'll time you out for that and hope that was just a joke. If not, it'll just be a block. Start Martinez or Pope? Yeah, same question I just had. Martinez, I think. Yeah, the cut. I saw a question about Rafinha. Should we cut our losses? Like for me, I've got no money in the bank, so who would I go for? I can just bench him. I don't need him for 35. And then if he's back for 36, great fixtures. If he's not, I'll have money from doing Vardy to potentially Bamford. And maybe I can upgrade him and try something different for the last few game weeks of the season. So I'm not getting rid of him. I don't think it's a bad play to get rid of him, but for me, it's just not worth it. I don't think. Playing the long game, even though there's not much time left. Obviously, I took a hit last week, like literally in rank. I'm hoping I can get back to a green arrow this week. Early stream, there's a pin comment about top of the chat. Software for streaming, OBS Studio, I think it's called. Maddison or Jota out for Son. I mean, if you have to take one of those out, then I would probably take out Jota, if that's your move. Bruno and Vidra to Kane and Saka -4. No chips left. I probably wouldn't do that, no. I'd probably just hold Bruno and hope. I know Kane looks... I mean, Kane looks great this week. You could do it if that's your only way to do it. The question you need to ask yourself is, next week, if Man United have a double game week, are you going to want Fernandes back? Like, if you look... If next week the double game weeks are there, boom. How annoyed will you be about not owning Fernandes? I mean, Kane does have a good fixture, even though it's a single game week, so maybe you wouldn't be that worried. What was that question? He hasn't been placed better than 1.6 million. Suddenly he has been number 1 for 90 games. What do you think could be a secret to a freakishly amazing season? You need a bit of luck, I guess. You need a bit of luck, right? I mean, I think, like, I'm not getting into a massive luck versus skill conversation here because who wants another one of those? But I'll quickly say one thing. To get like top 10 to 20k, maybe more 10k back in the day, maybe more 20k now. To consistently get top 10 or 20k, there is skill involved in doing that consistently. Obviously, everybody needs a bit of luck along the way. No one is saying that there's no luck involved. To get like consistently like top 1k or something, or to win it, you need a bit of extra luck than a normal person would get. So I have been lucky this season for sure. Do I watch any other videos? I sometimes join in for like live streams and stuff, but I don't consume a huge amount of other content. Most of the stuff FPL I consume is probably through Twitter, to be honest. I like to just think about it myself where I can, just go from there. Otherwise, you just get too swayed either way from different points of view. Obviously, there's loads of great stuff out there, but I'd go insane if I worked on FPL all day and then also had to use my spare time in the evenings and stuff to catch up on even more content. Is this your full-time job? I do FPL full-time. This channel is not my full-time job, though. If you're consistently lucky, it's not luck. Yeah, again, I'm not saying you have to. It's not. As I said, it's not just full luck. Why would Man United double? Yeah, I'm not going to get into why there could be double game weeks. All you need to know is there's potential for double game weeks next week. There you go. It's to do with the FA Cup and fixtures changing because of fans back in the stadiums, basically. I'm not even sure I fully know exactly why things are changing, to be honest. What do you think about Wolves' defence after last week? I wouldn't panic about Wolves' defence. Obviously, it's not good to concede 4 to Burnley of all teams. There was massive mistakes in there. I don't mind them for this week. Brighton could be okay, but I think we've pretty much passed most of Wolves' good fixtures now. West Brom, I would say, is probably the last like proper good one. And even that right now, it doesn't look easy. So you could start to think about removing Wolves' defenders. What differentiates you from all the other FPL content creators? You'd have to ask people in the chat, really. I don't know. Aren't you sacrificing points by potentially not transferring the player for Rafinha, or is that the wrong way of thinking? No, but it depends on your team. Like for me, I can. So, I think now it's difficult. Right now, in terms of how FPL is, like with potential blanks, potential doubles, potential what if, potential if. That's all I've been saying all week. I have, if there's a double next week, I'll be free hitting, in which case it doesn't matter who's in my team, right? So for Rafinha, I just bench him this week. I've got no money anyway. I'd have to bring in someone like Saka. I'm not sure if he's going to start. Pereira, but I don't know how long term I want him. So I'm just benching him for Jota. I'll free hit next week. If he's back for 36, great. If not, I mean, what am I sacrificing? You know, if I take him out, I would bench Jota. It's just not worth a transfer for me, to be honest. But it doesn't mean that everybody should keep Rafinha. Like, some people might have loads of money in the bank to go for a player they really need or they really want, you know? Should I play Jota or Bamford? Out of the two, I would play Bamford. And so transferring Dallas for Konza, no hits. I'd be tempted to keep Konza because he's potentially got a double coming up. I think Dallas looks great for 36 to 38. I don't think he's a massive priority right this second. Although I will probably be bringing them in this week. Mr. Start the stream just joined now was torn between starting one of Jota holding Cody but going with Jota. Yeah, Navigate, that's what I would do as well. Is Trossard to Sigurdsson a good move this week? If you've got 2 free transfers, you really just want to use one, maybe. But if you've got one, I would be tempted to hold because he plays Leeds. I know Leeds have been looking a bit better. I'd be tempted to hold. Now that you're off Twitter, I've actually got to watch the game without just waiting for your notifications. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think it's for a good cause, so I'm sticking with it, you know. Trouble with free hit and Thurbos, I think a lot of single game fixtures are better. But it doesn't mean you have to ignore them completely, right? I mean, if you're free hitting and you think that, then you get them, right? At the end of the day, there's only five more weeks to use the free hit. I'm using it in 35. I'm not even overthinking it, to be honest. Had a good shout this week, maybe even captain. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're doubling down with the risk with captain. So first of all, you're risking that he definitely starts. Then you're risking that he's a good captaincy. But I do think he'll start, and it is Sheffield United. So as out of the box differential captains go, Bale could be a decent one. Ryan, yes, that is the reason. Yeah, I don't know how long we're going to stream for, but probably a bit longer. Many congratulations for reaching 100k. Cheap alternative for Bruno. Lingard, Maddison, Greenwood, someone like that. Torres, if you want to take a massive pump for this week only. Am I definitely locking in Kane? Iheanacho is so tempting. Iheanacho is a great pick this week, but yes, I will probably be sticking with Kane. That was my original choice. The only thing that's changed is he got injured, but then he played 90 minutes and then he had a 4 week's rest. So unless Ryan Mason says something, I'm not going to worry too much about him. Mahit, don't know why Nuno played Rice. Played Sice right centre back and Bolly left centre back versus Burnley. Might be the issue. Both don't seem comfortable. Yeah, usually Sice plays left centre back as far as I know. Cody in the middle, then Bolly on the right. So maybe they'll switch it around. Oh, I'm going for double game week players. I'm just saying, if you think that the single game week players are better, then go for them. But yeah, I'll mostly be going for double game week players. I'll probably go Fernandes, Rashford, Guaita, Iheanacho, Vardy, Zaha. That's 6 already without even thinking about single game week players. Luca Dean, Luke Shaw, Calvert-Lewin, Watkins. I might have Salah. I'm not going to have Kane because Vardy, Iheanacho plus one of Watkins or Calvert-Lewin I'll have instead. So I'm not going to have Kane. But Son, Salah, someone like that is possible, yeah. Jota, maybe. Cheers, Mustafa. Have a good one. I am probably transferring out Rudiger. There's no point in making I'm not going to make my transfers earlier just because I'm doing the stream earlier, to be honest. United, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, blank and double because of the FA Cup final. Yeah. And the rest of the fixtures have to be put in. And I think it is to do with the fans as well. Again, in stadiums. There's not been any major news on Twitter yet. Where are these freaking fixtures like? Just seeing if there's any news. There's nothing. It's Californication. Start Shaw or Trent. About 60-40 on Shaw. Fair enough. Go for it. I would probably start Trent, but I can see why people like Shaw because he's been great this season and it's at home. If the Premier League boycott social media, then surely doubles will have to be announced before 3. Not necessarily. They could just put it on their website and not tweet about it. Like, yeah, a lot of these places. Yeah, they've still got websites to go and post on. Like, Sky won't be posting to YouTube, but they'll still be making content on Sky, right? The games are still going to be on. So yeah, they might come out. I've got a video ready for the doubles just in case they do announce it for 35, 36, but I don't know whether to put it out anyway or just wait. I'm probably going to wait, and if it gets announced after, so be it, It'd be crazy to leave it till next week, though. Honestly, it's hardly any time at all. I was the one who requested to change your background. You've done an excellent job. Did you? Why do you want to go triple Liverpool? Because there's no room for sentiment in FPL. You just pick the best players with the best fixtures. Like, I haven't picked these 3 players because they play Man United away. I've picked these 3 players because they had great fixtures before and after. Can you do a stream for those that don't have a free hit? I mean, this is it, really, right? Yeah, I am boycotting. It starts at 3 o'clock. How well trained is your dog? She's fairly well trained. The thing is, like, sometimes when she's out, especially if she's off the lead, like somewhere obviously safe to let her off, if you call her back, she knows that you're calling her and she knows she's supposed to come, but she does sometimes just ignore it. If you've got, like, I don't know, a bit of sausage in your hand or something, or, I don't know, like a bit of chicken, then she's more likely to come. No watch-alongs this weekend for obvious reasons. I know, I've actually got a new background. I've got a really good thing. I've got such a cool thing for the watch-alongs. Honestly, you're going to love it. I guarantee you no one will watch the watch along with the layout I've got now and not like it. It looks good, has so much info as well. But I couldn't do one last week because I ended up going out, and I can't do them this week obviously because of the blackout. So 35, 36, 37, 38, there will be some watch alongs. I'll definitely be doing last day of the season 100%. I'll be on this channel doing a watch along. And obviously all 10 games will be on at the same time. Should we be thinking about Everton mids? I think if you really need someone that's going to blank and not double, you could look at them. I don't think they're really going to be integral for our teams or anything like that. Do 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 do. Boom, 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 boom. Play one out of Cody, Vidra, and Jota. Maybe Vidra, but probably Jota. Yeah, Adolf. Adolf Hipster. Okay. Yeah, I realised when I said that. Same as my Labrador. He'll just ignore the call, but knows he's being called. Yeah, she knows. She knows. So here, sometimes she'll stop and look at you, and then carry on, as if to say you're too far away to do anything about it. And then when you get close to her, she almost like cowers, as if to say, "Okay, I know I've done wrong." I don't know what I hate that she cowers though. I feel like I've done something really bad, but I haven't. I've just been calling her. It's probably not a cower, but she knows she's done something wrong, like not listening. But then she does it, and then she does it the next time. But like if we were in the house now and we blow a whistle and she can't see it, she'll run straight in. But if I use the whistle outside, she just ignores it because she can still see me. Yeah. Anyway, that's dog talk. That's Riley talk. Best Gundogan replacement. I mean, there's not many around his price. Bowen, potentially. What did you do before FPL? Do a vlog. So I've thought about doing... I have thought about buying a camera to do some... I don't know, vloggy type stuff. I'd like to do something around fitness and diet and losing weight. The problem is there's so many people already doing that, and I can't edit like they can. But I might just do it for when I've got some more time, just because why the hell not? You got 11-week-old dog. The nipping, yeah, they do like to bite. They do grow out of it though. You worked with my brother Barry? Yes, I did. Hello. How's it going? Long time no see. I haven't seen anyone because basically not long after I left, there's a freaking lockdown. Small world. Hello, Barry. Hello, Luke. Cody Variety, definitely. Sounds like the pup is finessing you. She basically is. Do a cook along. Nah, I don't want to I'm not trying to turn into Mark Goldbridge, you know. Not a 6-hour live stream, you know. We'll be... I don't know when we'll be stopping. She just says submitting to you as you're the alpha, just the way dogs are. Annoying in public, though, as it seems like you smack... Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like it, because it does look like you hit your dog, the way they cower. But she does it in the house. Like, she's always done it, ever since she was young. Like, if she walks up the stairs... Like, she's not supposed to go upstairs, because... Downstairs, she's mostly okay. She won't like bite stuff she's not supposed to. But upstairs, there's just too much stuff, and we're not always able to watch her. So most of the time, we don't let her up unless all the doors are closed. And so when she comes upstairs, you say, no, don't do it. Don't. You say, no, Riley, no. And she knows, but she keeps walking up. And then when you walk out the room to go and get her, then she cowers. She lies down on the floor, and then she starts like rolling then. And I hate it because it's like I'm not here to hurt you. You're just not supposed to go up, you know. I do live in Galway. Yeah, I'm originally from near Bristol. I used to work for EA. Yep. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Everyone always say anytime someone says you're struggling. I haven't said I'm struggling, but I'm actually doing all right with the food and stuff. But every time you say I'm struggling to lose weight, the answer is always like just eat less or reduce calories. Like, everybody knows that. But doing it's more difficult, right? It's like alcoholic. Oh, I'm struggling to drink less alcohol. Just don't drink as much, you know. Just don't drink as much. It's instinct. Pat behaviour showing submission. I know. I just don't. I hate it. And like I said, like when you're out in public, if people don't know, It looks really bad. What I want to know is, she's about 18 months now. Will she grow out of eating everything on the freaking floor? When we're out, it's so annoying sometimes. So literally picking up loads of little things. And most of it's not going to hurt her, but sometimes she picks up like plastic or whatever it might be. I have to take it out. That's another thing. I get dodgy looks when I take it out of her mouth. So she's literally chomping on something that's going to make her choke. I'm having to get it out of her mouth. And I'm getting dodgy looks out in public. Anyway, sorry, that was a lot of dog talk. Are we still talking about FPL? Does anyone care about FPL anymore? I guess they probably do, right? If you're sad, just don't be sad. Exactly, yeah. Wrong. Yeah, beer is a nightmare. Your dog's about 8 and still does it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, anyway, right, we need to get on to some FPL stuff. I say a million people have probably... There's a million people watching. Please do give the stream a like as well, by the way, if you haven't already. I know it's not the deadline, but if you're enjoying it anyway, please do hit that like button. Obviously, hit subscribe. Usually we do this like 1 hour or 2 hours before the deadline itself, but for obvious reasons and the reasons I've said already, we're not doing it today. And yeah, hit that subscribe button. Big shout out to all the patrons, by the way. I'll just quickly do the Patreon shout out. Thank you to everyone that signed up. There's a Q&A that I did over there yesterday if you want to check that out. Links in the description below for all of that good stuff. I need to swap the 150,000 one now to maybe a 200,000 one. I missed a super chat, sorry. Was it the Holding, Cody, Trent, Rudiger? I'd start the last three. Trent, Luka Dean, Rudiger, I think. Oh no, that's the one that just came in. Play 2 out of Holding, Rudiger and Jota and Rudiger. I don't think I missed one, did I? Lingard or Trey, didn't answer it in the last super chat. Oh, did I not? Lingard or Traore. I think I did, right? Whether it's Bertrand or Adama, I'd rather have Lingard, I think. There's 6 pages of Patreon. Yeah, I'm actually going to try and fix that next year so that not so there's less patrons, but so I can display them better, because it's not good going through 6 different screens. So I'm going to think about that for next season. I do want to give people a shout out, right? I appreciate the support. Ozan, you have a can. I'm going to mute the video and let it run so I can focus on work. Why would I take offense at that? OBS. That's the second question I've had about what software I use. OBS. Do I think Luke Shaw is due arrest? I mean, he had one recently, didn't he? Because he was suspended for the Europa League. So I think he'll play. Yeah. The male never cowers, but the female... Yeah, and she... Obviously, our dog's female, so... I think you should do a separate video on score predictions for the 10 matches every week. Maybe. I'll probably do that on a second channel. I actually got some branding done for my second channel. So I can probably... Hang on. Where is it? So I'm changing it to Let's Talk Football. So, oh, that's massive. So I just got a logo made for that. Instead of This Is Football. And this is the kind of background for it. See a bit big for here. That's like the background. For like, instead of like the black for these videos, which I think is pretty cool. So I know I keep saying I do want to do more stuff over there. But yeah, at some point we'll do that. Consistently. I have Grealish in my draft team. Should I get rid of him? As it seems like you're back. Yeah, I mean, in your draft team, I'd be tempted to sell him. Yeah, options are McNeil, Redmond, or Ghazi. I mean, to be honest, if Grealish is going to be out, Ghazi might keep playing, and he's on penalty, so I'd be tempted. He's got a double as well. Yeah, I think. Oh, it looks like a snipe target. Do you think? I didn't make that, by the way. Missed the quick fire questions. I think is like there's so many questions these days that it's almost like they're quick fire, right? But yeah, I'd probably get El Ghazi out of those. Sell Mendy and or Rudiger due to rotation. Who for? Good question. I'd probably go Rudiger over Mendy. I think Mendy's going to miss less games. Depends how much money you got. Trent is great. I'm looking at Dallas, for example, as well. That was done by Marco, who does all the graphics for this, most of the graphics for this channel as well. 6.3 midfielder. Any recommendations? I have Jay Ling. 6.3. 6.3. He really like. There's really not many options, to be honest. Let me see. Gundogan might not start. Harrison, if you've not got triple leads, I think Harrison is a nice little differential of 5.4. Pereira, but I don't like West Brom's fixtures. Bowen, if you want to double up on West Ham. Trossard, but again, I think he's like a 1 week only. Saka, but could see reduced minutes. I'd be tempted by Harrison, you know, if you've not already got triple leads. Congrats on 150k. Thank you very much. Background too logo super. Background too aggressive. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. I like it. I think it looks good. Whatever, do a football manager stream, maybe some point. It's finding the time to do game stream. You need to do it like 3-4 hours. Remember when there were polls in the stream, people would keep reminding you to do them, but you'd forget. Yeah, that was good. Good times. Havertz is nice differential. Yeah, but he's more than 6.3. That's the problem. Rudiger missed training, according to who? According to who? I can't see anything. I think we're going to go till about 1 o'clock and then we're done. Where's the fixtures? Come on. I see a lot to do in Bruno to Son. Is it sensible or short-sighted? So it's such a difficult question for all the reasons I've talked about for other players. Is both Son and Bruno have the same amount of fixtures from now to the end of the season. But obviously, you could just make that move in 36 instead and get an extra fixture out of Bruno. And I do think in 35, Bruno's going to be one of the top potential captains as well. Like, I think it's him or Leicester, right? There's other options, but I think the standout ones are going to be Bruno or Leicester players. So I don't think I would do it. But then you stand to make quite a few points this week only, right? Because it's Sheffield United. But I still like Fernandes can just get a penalty out of nowhere. I'd probably get him. Sorry, I'd probably keep him. Alonso's definitely more likely to start than Rudiger, I would say. Fixtures. I'll be checking the website. Maybe. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Once the deadline's gone, who cares if the fixtures come out, right? As a fellow Man United fan, having 3 Liverpool players is risky. Always feel United going to do well against Paul. Yeah, but a lot of people will be in the same boat, and I want them for the long term, so I'm not too worried. I don't even know who I would sell Jota for, to be honest. I think I've got to just take the long term goal view here. Yes, I'm taking part in the boycott. I've made a post on Twitter. I made a post on YouTube as well. Man United will have 5 games in 14 days. Is it really that many? Bruno will likely to get a rest. I think there is possibility in that, yes. And if you think that is likely, you could take the risk and just... Not even a risk. I hate that word. You could just go for Son instead. Notifications are set in Premier League. Message me with updates. You should all set up notifications. To be honest, I see their notifications so quick on Twitter. I don't normally worry. I'm not worried, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next few hours. You won't be sorry. Paul Wilson, thank you very much. I'm going to assume you meant to put a comment. I'll try and keep an eye out for it. Oh, Jonathan, you're at a rank of 1,526. Very nice. Stop bringing. I love when people say stop bringing politics into sport. It's not politics. Like, getting abused is not politics. And sport is so big, it can do things to change things like this. So why not use it? Very easy to say when you're not constantly being abused on social media that it's politics. But no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I barely get any abuse, to be honest. I could just ignore it, but it's not about people like me. I'm happy to just get a bit of abuse. I block, mute. I don't get it daily. I'm not making a transfer now. No way. That's the thing. That is the thing. It's the good thing for free hitters, but it's the annoying thing for those that are not free hitting is that Bruno might get rested or at least limited minutes in the second leg of the Europa League. In which case, you could just go for it. The problem is if you're thinking about a transfer this week, you don't have that knowledge. I still think if I had Bruno, I'll keep him, but you could just go for it if you really want to. Going 3 Spurs attackers. I mean, Alex, that's only one extra than most of us have got. I think you'd be great. Sheffield United are that bad. Thoughts on Pulisic? I like Pulisic. I mean, for anyone that's been watching the streams all season, you'll know I like Pulisic to the point where I brought him in for bloody Son just before Game Week 1, which was frustrating. But he has started the last, what is it now, 3? Did he start the West Brom game or did he come on at halftime? I don't know. But he's at least started the last 4 or 5 in the league. But I think he played Champions League as well. So I like him as a bit of a differential for this week, but the fixtures and rotation would just put me off longer term, I think. I won't do my transfer now if you get 1,000 likes, but please do like the stream if you're enjoying it. Why not? Holgate or Fofana? I'd probably play Fofana, I think. I just trust Leicester more. If the doubles aren't announced at 35, then what's the plan? If they're not announced, it's not happening. I'm sure they will. If it's happening, then they're going to get announced, right? So I'm not really worried about a plan. I'll worry about the plan when I know what the fixtures are, I work for social service. I get abuse every day. Should I stop doing my job? No, but do you just take it and not try and do anything to rectify it? I would assume probably not. And that wasn't the point. Your point was that we shouldn't bring politics in. If sport can do something to stop it, why shouldn't it? It's not affecting you. You can still use Twitter. No one's telling you to stop doing what you're doing. I'm sure if I start abusing you on Twitter, you'd block me pretty quick, right? Bruno and Vidra out for Kane, captain, and Rafinha. Bruno and Vidra out for Kane. Again, I've seen this question a lot. I mean, I wouldn't bring Rafinha in, right? He's not fit. He's not playing. He might be back long term, but I doubt it. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. And if you really want Kane captain, then sure, go for it. But I don't know. I just don't like Bruno out. I've said I haven't really changed. Jabs, I didn't miss your tweet. No, I didn't miss your super chat. I went for it. Dean, how's it going? Bruno to Bale for a punt. Free hitting for the potential double when he has a potential blank. See, I don't mind. See, that's a bit different, right? If you're Bruno to Bale for a punt, it's fine because if you've got the free hit, you can just free hit him in for the double as long as you can afford it. And then he blanks anyway in 36 when Bale's got a fixture. So I don't think it is a bad idea. How bad of an idea? I don't think it is. Obviously, there's an element of punt to it because you don't know if Bale's going to start, but I think he's probably going to be fine. So yeah. I mean, Patrick Bamford said it himself about the Super League. He said it's great that people can come together and do this to stop something when it affects money, etc. Why can't they do that for stuff like racial abuse? Bamford spoke really well on it. For the record, for that, I don't even know. I can't remember who the name was. No, you shouldn't get abused at your job. Social services or not. Just like players shouldn't get abused when they go and play football, or whoever shouldn't get abused when they go to work, or when they want to go online and just get racial abuse sent to them every single day. It just shouldn't happen. So, yeah, I disagree. I'm not going to think differently of anyone that doesn't want to do the boycott, but I hate that don't bring politics into sport. I mean, it's just a cop-out, to be completely honest. As if like people shouldn't try and do whatever they can. Pick 2 mids and 2 defenders. Well, I'd definitely play Bruno. I'd probably play Saka over Jota, and then probably Trent and Luka Dean, and sadly bench Dallas, but I wouldn't be that happy about it. Does Cavani play this game week? I wouldn't be convinced that he does. No. What I would say is you can check the team news tab on Fantasy Football Scout. Neil's usually really up to date and very good with that. He's done Man United. He thinks Greenwood up front, Rashford on the right. I mean, it could be Rashford up front, Greenwood on the right, but yeah, I would agree. I don't think Cavani starts. I'm also a little bit worried about Jota starting, but I think I've just got to go through with it. This could be another week where I get a bit of a red arrow. I just hope it's not too bad. But we'll see. So Maximum Saka or Ghazi for the next 3 games. I'd probably go Al Ghazi, to be honest. I just hope the Grealish doesn't come back. I don't actually. Let me just check. Let me just check Al Ghazi's game time a sec. Yes, he's not been starting. That's the only thing. The Grealish isn't back. Why is he not been? He should be starting, really. That would maybe worry me a bit more. So I'd probably go Saka, but I do think his minutes are going to be managed a bit. Start Gundogan or Veltman. I'd probably start Gundogan and hope he starts. Not guaranteed, of course, but yeah, he could do. There's a possibility of him starting. Will he bench Gundogan and De Bruyne again? He might do, but I would probably start Gundogan over Veltman. Yeah, exactly. It's okay for people to be racially abused, but it's not okay to bring politics into sport. I tell you what, people have got such hard decisions this week with transfers, with benchings. Yeah, is Jota getting benched? I got to be honest, I feel like he probably will, but I'm going to play him anyway. I got to play one of Dunk, Jota, or Vidra. Who will I start? A lot of people ask. I think a lot of people have asked in Vidra and Jota. You can maybe start Vidra and hope that he starts again and outscores Jota, but I wouldn't start Dunk ahead of either of those two. I don't think. Mav, how's it going? Bruno to Greenwood and Bamford to Vardy have 2 free transfers and no hits. I mean, a question would be, who would you prefer for the double, Bruno or Vardy? If it's Vardy, then you could go through with it, yeah, because you get an extra doubler with Greenwood, anyway. But if you're going to potentially see a double in 35 with Bruno there with 2 fixtures and be panicking, then don't go through with it. I'm certain on Capsy, I don't see me changing it, unless Kane gets ruled out. Which we'll see. We'll see. Daniel, you're 8K in the world. Nice job. The reason I said I think Saka's a really good option. I think he's actually a little bit underrated by people, but I do think the minutes are a bit of a concern. Shaw, Greenwood, Jota, Trent, Dallas, Veltman 3. Probably Greenwood, Jota, and Trent. You could go Shaw instead. Do I reckon Rudiger to Luka Dean is a good move? I have Dallas and I plan to free hit 35. It's not a bad move. Yeah, Luka Dean's got some okay fixtures towards the end of the season. So yeah, I mean, you ideally you want to use your transfer this week and then hope that the fixtures get announced. But obviously, time is dwindling on when they can do that. So yeah, we'll see. Someone's already emailed me about editing fitness videos. I've not even got a camera yet, but fair play to you. I will reply. But I can edit basic stuff, right? It's just like I'm sure it could be made cooler, you know. First of all, I want to say thanks for your content. No worries. Secondly, love your position on the boycott. No worries. All glad to hear it. Thirdly, Watkins or Luka Dean start. I'd probably start Watkins. I'd probably start Watkins over the defender. But like Grealish being out, just get back, Jack. Bench one of Bamford, Bruno, Rashford. Any ideas on which? Probably Bamford. Actually, would I? Bamford against Brighton, 2 Man United players against Liverpool. I mean, I would definitely start Bruno. Then it comes down to one of the other two to bench. I think I might bench Rashford. I think Liverpool is going to be tough, you know. People mentioned Bruno after last night. Mental. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool is going to be a much tougher task than Roma was, I think. 6k rank, 14 points inside the top 10k, but 34 points from top 1. Risk to push 1k or play defensive and try and hope for top 10k. I wouldn't really overthink it too much. Just keep playing as you've been, you know? I feel like sometimes when you start worrying about protecting rank, you just don't think how you normally would, and that can affect your decisions. Jack will always be back next week, like Antonio will be if he's fit. Can't wait till Antonio's fit again. David, how's it going? Trent, Shaw, Cody, Dallas. Which two? Trent, Shaw, Cody, Dallas. Trent and... Probably Trent and Shaw, but I don't necessarily like benching Dallas. But yeah, probably Trent and Shaw. Iheanacho... Yeah, probably Trent and Shaw. I have Iheanacho, Vardy and Son leaning towards Iheanacho captain. Predicament is that I also have Fernandes, Greenwood, Salah and Jota, or captain Son. I am a mess. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't captain anyone from Man United or Liverpool personally. I think I would probably go Iheanacho over Son. I think as you can see on screen, I'm going Kane over Iheanacho, but I don't know if I would go Son over Iheanacho. I think I'd probably lean to Kel. The deadline's a while away. Don't worry. Yeah, a lot of people said that Roma weren't that great, and it turned out they weren't. Well, they still managed to score 2 goals, but yeah. Where are the fixtures? Give us the fixtures. Okay, I think I might leave it there because I'm conscious that people might want to watch this afterwards. And if it's like 2 or 3 hours long, that'll probably be a pain for them. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for all your support for the channel and for the stream. Hit a like if you haven't already and hit that subscribe button as well. Obviously, I'll be posting my team once it's done and once my transfer's done on Patreon as normal. There's links to that in the description below if you want to check. Keegan, I've missed your super chat. Have I? Should I captain De Bruyne, Iheanacho, Son or Kane? I mean, I definitely wouldn't captain De Bruyne. No way he starts. No guarantee he starts. So 1 over 3. I own all 3. I'm going Kane. So there's your answer. Are the lineups on Live Score app correct? I wouldn't worry about that. It's just predicted. To be honest, if you want to know predicted lineups, I would go to Fantasy Football Scout and see what they say. For what it's worth, I think there's a chance that Gundogan and De Bruyne both get benched. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. You get to 1,000 likes. There's enough of you watching. Just go and hit that like button if you have enjoyed it. Hit subscribe if you're new around here as well. Once again, obviously the boycott of social media will be happening at 3 o'clock today until midnight on Monday. So after this, unless there's a double game week announcement before 3 o'clock, I won't be posting anything else on YouTube until Tuesday. I know it's a busy week next week with all the fixtures and stuff, so there'll probably be lots of kind of double uploads and stuff like that potentially, but we'll just see what happens, right? But yeah, good luck this weekend. I won't be on Instagram or Twitter at all. I won't be on Facebook just because I hate Facebook anyway. But yeah, whether or not you're taking part in that or not, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the football, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.